Microsoft Excel's got kind of basic level functions, things like sum and average and minimum and maximum. And then it's got things that are more advanced, things like the if function, the VLOOKUP function, and a number of other more advanced type functions. And in some cases, kind of like what we took a look at in an earlier video, they combine some of these basic ones with more advanced ones. We took a look at earlier the count if function. I want to count a group of cells if this is true. Well, we've also got a sum if. I want to sum up a group of cells if this condition is true. A standard sum just sums up a group of cells. Whatever you specify, that's what it's going to sum. Well, sum if, I'm going to grab a range of cells. For example, I'll grab all the sales here from D3 all the way down to, it's going to keep going here, a few hundred records, down to D272. That's the range of cells that I want to sum up. But you know what? Let's get back up here to the top. I don't want to sum up every single sale. I just want to sum up for specific stores, or a specific month, or a specific SKU. I only want to sum up if a specific condition is true. Take a look. This is the sum if function. So off to the right, I'm on the sum if function worksheet. I've got this nice little simple table built here just to help demonstrate this function. So I'm going to click into cell H3. I want to get the total units. Okay, this is the total units column here, but I only want to do it for a specific store. Or I want to get the total sales. Here's the sales column. We were looking at this earlier, but only for this store. Okay? Sum if. Watch this. So I'm inside of H3. I'm going to do the units. I'm going to go up to my formulas tab. Now I can dig through the books. We thought, well, you know, it's got an if, so maybe it's underneath logical. No, not there. Well, it's a sum function, so maybe it's under math and trig. I can scroll through here. There's yeses. Oh, there's sum if. And hey, by the way, right below sum if, we have sum ifs. You can specify multiple sets of conditions or criteria. I want to sum up if this is true, and this is true, and this is true, and so on. Let's take a look at the more basic of the two. Let's grab the sum if. So once again, this opens up my argument window. Three things. Wants to know the range of cells that I want to evaluate. This is the if portion of the sum if. Hey, I want to look at the store column and check to see if it's equal to 3,000. So my range here, I'm going to grab from B3. I'm going to give you a little shortcut key here. I need to get all the way down to row number 272, right? So I'm going to do Control Shift on my keyboard and the down arrow on my keyboard. And this will jump all the way to the bottom. So it finds that empty cell and then stops. So there's the range that I want to evaluate. That's where I'm going to look for the specific store. Now my criteria. Well, great. That's the range of cells right up above, B3 to B272. What am I looking for? Well, I want to look for store number 3,000. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, what do we want to sum up? I want to point out here, I'm going to scroll back to the top. I want to point out in the argument window, you'll notice that range and criteria are different than sum range. You spot the difference? What's the difference between these three here? Well, range and criteria are bold. Sum range is not. When it's not bold, this designates this particular argument as being optional. I don't have to do it, which means if I don't use it, it actually sums up the range that you selected initially. You know what? That's not what I want. The range that I want to sum up, I'm trying to get total units. So I'm going to come over here and get B3 or E3, Control Shift down arrow, down to E272. And that's it. Three things. What's the range that you're looking into, the one that you're trying to evaluate? What am I looking for is the criteria. And what's the range of cells that you actually want to sum up if that criteria is true? Hit my OK button. And look at that. 17,538 units that are stored or have been sold from store number 3,000. Really simple, 3 little things. Where am I looking? What am I looking for? And what am I going to sum up if I find it? This is the sumif. Try this out. Complete the rest of these examples here. Get the total sales for store number 3000. Get the total units, total sales for the specific SKU. Try it out. Mess around with it. Think about your own work. Where can you apply this? Do you ever need to sum up a range of cells, but only where a specific condition is true? You'll be using a sumif function.